Okay, this is CS952, Introduction to Web Technologies and Design. This is the second part of the video that we started. We were talking about editing our images, and we had just reviewed the different image ratios that we could use. There was 1:1, which is basically a square. There is 4:3, which is a very popular format, particularly with computer monitors from the last generation. Everything that you ever saw on a television set is in this format. 3:2, and then 16:9, which is kind of the going thing nowadays. And then 4:1, which I mentioned was a custom ratio that I used just because I wanted to have a lot of vertical space on the site. So these are our different image ratios. If you want to experiment with this, you can go to the web address ratio.cs952.org. Here it is. Okay, so we're going to use a free online editor to edit our images. So let's get back to our images. The first image, here we go. The first image that we had is this kind of swirly pattern of the pencils. And I clicked here in my URL, my Uniform Resource Locator, also known as the web address, and I hit copy. So let's go and find Pixlr and see what we can do with this image. So I'm going to Google Pixlr, P-I-X-L-R. Okay? And we don't want images. Let's go back to all. Okay, Pixlr Photo Editor Online, and we're going to choose Pixlr Express, which has everything that we need, skips the stuff we don't need. Now this is a free online image editor. It's loaded up, and I'm going to click on the button that says Open URL. And because I know the URL of the image we were looking at, right, I just copied it, I'm going to click in this box that says URL, Uniform Resource Locator. That's the web address. And I'm going to paste in what I copied. And there you go. It's kind of long. If I use my cursor to go to the end, you can see it's that long web address, HTTPS, etc., etc., etc. And I'm going to click on Open. And Pixlr will load the image. Now it loads it from the online source directly into, okay, here's a Happy Easter notice. We can close that. Loads it straight in. We're going to go to Adjustment, which is where we make everything that we need to use in Pixlr. It's in Adjustments. And we're going to choose to crop our image. Now when we go to crop, look at this. Here are some of those same formats that we were looking at before in terms of ratio. There's 1:1. If we want to crop our image and make it a square, here's 1:1. They've also got 5:4. Here's 4:3. Remember 4:3? Here's 3:2. And here's the very popular 16:9. So our image isn't quite in any of these formats. 16:9 looks pretty darn good. So I'm going to click on the Apply button. And it's going to crop our image. But before I do that, I'm going to slide this frame down a little bit. Because to me, this is the more interesting part of the image. And I will click on Apply. So now our image has been cropped. It's in the 16:9 format. The next step is to resize the image. Remember, we said the first thing we did was to crop the image, right? What's our image ratio? The next thing we're going to do is sizing our image. So let's go to our Resize button. And we've got two fields down here for the height and the width. And we're going to keep our proportions the same. Now right now the width is 3,840 pixels. We want to change that to 1,920 pixels because that's the width that we're looking for. So I'm going to click in this field that says width, and it becomes highlighted. Now here's the trick to changing this number. Use the arrow keys on your keyboard to go to the far right of this field, or you can just click. I'm going to use my mouse just to click, make sure I'm in the far right of the field. And then I'm going to press the backspace key just to delete all of those numbers. Now that those numbers are deleted, I'm going to type in 1920. So we can see with a width of 1920, it has a height of 1080 pixels. This is a very, very common, very popular size. And I'm going to click on Apply, and now my image has been resized. Next, we're just going to save our image, and we do that by clicking on the Save button. So let's click Save. And I'm going to leave everything as it is. You know what? I think I'm going to change the name to something a little bit simpler. Again, I'm clicking here in this top field, and I'm holding down the backspace key, and I'm going to type in pencil-01, and I'm going to save it on my flash drive. So let's click Save, and I'm going to go to Libraries, Computer. Here is the flash drive that I'm using to save my files. Here it is, Pencil. And I'm going to save it in a folder called Resources. Oh, that's where I saved the image before. Let's go up, and I'm just going to save it out here to Images. Pencil-01. Save that. Good. Now, when we did this step, we used the URL Uniform Resource Locator to load our image. Well, what if our image was something from a digital camera? How do we load, or from our iPhone? Okay. Well, you'll need to save that image to your hard drive or to your flash drive. It's got to be on your computer somewhere. But here's how you load that image into Pixlr for editing. So I'm going to close the image that we've been working with, and I'm going to use the Browse button, which lets me load images from my computer. So I'm going to click on Browse, and I'm going to go to my Pencil drive here, and I save those images under Resources. And it looks like I saved them both about the same time. I'm not sure which one is which. Let's try opening up the second image. Perfect. That's the image we're looking for. So I used the Browse button to load the image from my hard drive. You would also use the Browse button to load an image that you'd saved, maybe from your camera or from your phone. And we're going to go through the same steps here real quick. I'm going to go to Adjustment. I'm going to go to Crop. I'm going to choose 16 by 9. Right? We can move this frame up and down. I like that. I will choose Apply to apply this crop. I'm going to go to Resize. And remember, we want this image to be 1920 pixels in width. So I'm going to highlight the width field. I'm going to use my left and right arrow keys to go all the way to the end, and then just backspace until I delete all of the numbers and type 1920. And again, the height is 1080. Let's hit Apply. We're done. Let's hit Save. And I'm going to call this one Pencil. Whoops, I need to delete all of this stuff. There's a long name there. Pencil-02. And I'm going to hit Save. We've got Pencil-01. When I save files, I want to avoid using capital letters, spaces, special characters. I want to keep the names very simple. So we've got Pencil 1 and Pencil 2. And I will hit Save. And now that's been saved. So the last step in this process is to compress our images, and we will do that